Alright, welcome to Sorry If I Spit When I Speak. Now that the Bengals have cut Chris Baker, we can start asking what the Bengals defensive line will look like. Who will make the team? Who won't? Who will start? Who will provide depth? What happens to Michael Johnson? How much will we see Carl Lawson? All those kind of questions. Now, John, tell us what we are supposed to think.
So for starters, it's 2018, and the base defense is literally just the base defense now. It's not the main defense for any defense in the NFL anymore. Not when offenses average over 50% of their plays with 3 receivers on the field. Last year, the Bengals operated out of their nickel defense for 67% of their snaps, according to Football Outsiders. In that personnel grouping, they don't play with a nose tackle. They traditionally slide in an edge player inside to man that opposite 3 technique spot from Geno Atkins. Last year, it was Chris Smith, but now he's in Cleveland. This year, the Bengals will feature Michael Johnson full-time there in nickel, with him still taking the reps of Carl Dunlap at defensive end in the base defense. So your defensive line for the majority of snaps is more times than not looking like Carl Lawson, Michael Johnson and Geno Atkins inside, and Carlos Dunlap. Now we're still talking about Johnson because with the release of Chris Baker, he's probably safe to make the roster now, and while Jordan Willis and Sam Hubbard have come in for him during the preseason, he's still been the starter at both spots, and I just don't think they're going to let go of another veteran in that group. Would they survive without him? Probably. He's not that good anymore, but I wouldn't be surprised if his usage was heavily skewed towards playing 3 technique compared to him playing on the edge now. When the Bengals are in base, obviously Andrew Billings is on the field at nose tackle, or 1 technique in the Bengals front. With the release of Baker, this potentially shifts the role of Ryan Glasgow. Glasgow has been playing behind Geno Atkins at 3 techniques since he was drafted last year, but that role fits Andrew Brown so much better, who just returned to practice this week. I think with the addition of Brown and the removal of Baker, Glasgow, I think, takes his place behind Billings now at nose tackle. So all in all, we have the nickel guys, Lawson, Johnson, Atkins, and Dunlap. Billings is on where Johnson is, and Johnson is where Lawson is when they're in base, which they aren't for more than a third of their plays. You have Jordan Willis and Sam Hubbard coming in as edge defenders in the base defense, and maybe inside of nickel to relieve Johnson, and Glasgow and Brown behind Billings and Geno respectively. It's not a bad group of players. If you were curious about the new mic on my shirt, this was provided to us by Pop Voice, who makes quality microphones. This specific model is the PV610 Plus. It's very simple. Just plug it into your device and boom, your audio is enhanced. So a special shout out to the kind folks at Pop Voice for enhancing our show.
Yes, thank you, John. And thank you, Pop Voice, who are trying to improve our show by giving us microphones to test out. And they said they're probably going to give us other microphones in the future that can even better serve our purposes. Speaking of improving our show, some of you may have heard that we're trying to get puppets for the show, and wow, are we close. I mean, we're just $318 away. Because we are so close, I have already selected a puppet designer, Rachel Burson. Rachel is both from Cincinnati and a Bengals fan, because really we could not trust anybody else with our puppets. Now, how did we get so close? Well, of course, people have been contributing for almost a year now. We have 49 people who have given $782, but we got especially close the past couple of days because of one man, Logan Baker. Logan is a big Andy Dalton fan, and he came on our show to prove to Hoji why he should love Andy Dalton. And to win over Hoji's heart, he gave $14 in honor of Andy Dalton, and he asked other Dalton supporters to do the same, and a number of you did. Even Andy's wife, JJ, liked the tweet about the video. It's truly a heartwarming story. So here to thank you for your support is Logan Baker.
Hey guys, Logie B513. I just wanted to come on and say thank you to everybody who donated. Hoji and Daddy-O do awesome work, and they're going to do amazing things covering the Bengals for us all season. So I just wanted to give a shout out to a couple guys, Elijah Finley, Tim Brashears, Brian Stewart. You guys all donated $14, and I know Hoji and Daddy-O really appreciate it. Just keep the Dalton love going all season, guys. Hooday.
Yes, thank you, Logie. And don't forget to follow Logan on Twitter if you need a pick-me-up and you need to feel good about yourself as a Bengals fan. After Mr. Finley, Mr. Leaf, Mr. Brashear, and Mr. Stewart gave contributions, we received another contribution in honor of Andy Dalton from John Rigas Antjas. And we want to thank him for that. Thank you, John. We also received $58 from Bit each, and that is the second largest contribution we've ever received, only after Dr. Bernwald's $100. Wow, I mean, this is just amazing. Sean Simmons also chipped in with $10, and then we have 4 different contributions from Anthony Cota, Anthony's twin brother, Anthony's twin brother's twin brother, which I guess makes him Anthony, I don't know, and finally William Anthony's twin. Don't worry, I am as confused as you are, but I am nonetheless very, very honored. Now, you can win a prize, whether it's a drawing or a starting lineup figure, even if you don't give money, by subscribing and leaving a comment about what you like about Hoji or me. Or you can say which player you like the best, Carl Pickens, Jeff Blake, or Corey Dillon. If you like, you can support us on Patreon. We're really trying to improve the quality of the show, so your support is appreciated. And we will see you after the Bengals preseason game against the Bills. So long, Sweetie Pies.
Dragging the line.